The debt crisis still looms large, unemployment is still high, and we are involved in kinetic military action in at least 4 countries, none of which are winnable. Joining me now to look at the trends that will be affecting the president's chances at re-election is Gerald Celente of the Trends Research Institute. Mr. Celente, you predicted the Great Recession that we're still experiencing, the panic of 2008, the tax protests, our loss in Iraq. So let's cut to the chase. Who do you think is going to be president in 2013?
Well, as it stands now, it looks like Obama will win because the Republicans really don't have anybody to run against him, unless you have a wild card like a Ron Paul. You know, it goes back to what Bill Clinton said back in the '92 elections. It's the economy, stupid. And what do the Republicans do for an encore? And Obama knows how to pull that rabbit out of the hat. Every time his poll ratings are going down, boy, something really changes around to drive him back up. So as it seems now, it looks like Obama.
Well, you mentioned Ron Paul as a wild card, and you've talked a lot about what you call the Second American Revolution, where he talks about the philosophical revolution that we're having now, when we're going to be able to get into that with him tomorrow when we have him on the show. But what's the connection there? Is that part and parcel of the same phenomenon that you're seeing?
Yes. If it's really a winner, it needs a blend of 2 things. I call it progressive libertarian. Progressive in the terms of, you know, there are a lot of people that care about what's in the water, what's in the food, what's in the air. They don't like radiation floating over their heads or drinking, you know, hormone-laced food, milk, or eating hormone-injected foods, pesticide-laden. So progressive on that end, and libertarian in the sense of what a Ron Paul agenda is. Bring home the troops. Highly unlikely at this time, as the Obama administration seems to be ramping it up again for the people to go all gung-ho over more military action. I mean, look at the nation's response to the death of a guy that's really been dead in the minds, if not physically, for several years with Osama bin Laden. You know, dredging this guy back up, and you saw the way the people reacted. And Adam, here's what's important. Go 4 days before Osama bin Laden was ostensibly killed. What was the big news? Ben Bernanke,
right, the press conference.
Other public enemy #1. And what did he do? He had a public press conference, first time in the history of the Federal Reserve. As Bernanke was speaking, the dollar was crashing. Gold prices shot up $20 an ounce. Silver prices $2 an ounce. Hey, that's out of the news now. So you see the way these things change so rapidly.
So going back to the economy, because Ron Paul's position on the economy is also 180 degrees apart from Obama's. And Standard & Poor recently downgraded our debt rating. Some agencies would put us at a C now, or saying that we're going to not be a credible borrower anymore. The U.S. government is not. And I think the economic issues are going to be most important when it comes to Obama's re-election. People are going to be evaluating, are they better off now than they were 4 years ago? What do you think this means, this downgrading by Standard & Poor to our debt rating, in terms of Obama's ability to keep people happy?
Well, it's going to be downgraded at some point. The GDP to debt ceiling in the United States is 95% to GDP to debt. It was 30% 30 years ago. You're looking at an average American picking up their share of the debt burden is like $46,000. The debt is never going to be repaid. You know, Bernie Madoff, a guy who knew a thing or two about Ponzi schemes, go and look at February 27th, New York Magazine. They did an interview with him. You know what he called the United States government? One big Ponzi scheme.
Yep.
And that's what's going on, Adam. They're going to keep the game going. They'll try anything. They'll print all the digital money out of thin air that they could invent. And if that doesn't work, they take you to war.
Right. Well, I'm just hoping that the game is up before the 2012 election and Obama gets called on the carpet by the American people. Gerald, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Hey, thank you, Adam.
That was